go crazy with the modeling. Go crazy with the settings and find out what works for you. One more thing I also forgot to do before we actually get to this is we need to get some better lighting. You're going to notice one thing with these pictures over here. The diamonds glisten. You got the little, I don't know what to call that, streak coming off the light, hitting that angle. You got the glistening with the different surfaces here and also in the reflection. That's the thing about diamonds. There's actually a really good picture in here somewhere. That one with the top face. What the? Oh, diamond ring effect. Okay. I was like, that's not a diamond. Ah, this one's really good. So the glistening effects, a diamond always glistens. Why? Because whenever they're being shown, they always have a lot of light. And that's what we need here. So we have one light already, which is right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it. To duplicate an item, you just press Shift D, and that's it. And what we're going to do is we're going to move it right there. By the way, if you want to know how to move things in little control spots, you actually push and hold Control. And that will allow you to be able to go and set lengths of moving stuff. And we need to then go into right view, left view, doesn't matter. Whoop. What just happened? Oh, I didn't have anything selected. Oh, sorry, I didn't have them both selected. Okay. We need to move these over. By the way, to grab and move an object, you can literally just use these things, the XYZ axes, or you can also press G and it'll move stuff around for you. And we're also going to duplicate these again over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I found that having these in a 4x4 grid, so sorry, a 8x8 grid, so 8 this way, 8 this way, it's pretty good spacing for the way the diamond is set out right now. Go ahead. Oh, not render the animation. Rendering in the image. You notice there's a good amount of light there. So that's nice to have. One thing I might also do is add a few more lights down here at the end, but we'll take a look at that when we get there. Okay, now we're ready to mess with this settings of the diamond. There we go. These, like I said, I just worked with them for an hour. I wrote them down, so this part won't take a whole long. But mess around with the settings and see what happens for you. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn the specular intensity up to 1, which is going to maximize the reflectivity of that specular surface. Maximize the reflectivity. We're also going to turn the hardness all the way up to 511. Hardness is important. Hardness is kind of like definition between surfaces. Right now, between 50 and 511, there's really not much of a difference. But later on there is, so leave it at 511. Next, what we're going to do, just collapse these both here. Shading. We're going to change the emit value to 2, which is going to make things go absolutely nuts. Nice, okay. And then we're going to turn on, we keep the translucency to 0. Then we're going to turn on tangent shading. I'm not going to have it turned on right now because I want to show you the difference between without it and with it. So right now, tangent shading is going to be off, but we're going to turn it back on later. Collapse options. Oh, also you need to tell the diamond to receive the transparencies as well, because right now this is a hollow 3D object. If you do not tell it to receive the transparencies, light will go through the very first. So say, just for instance, say you had this one light. One light would go through this back face here, and then completely end at these faces, never getting through the diamond. And so if you want light to go all the way through, make sure you tell it to receive the transparencies. That's all we need to do there. Collapse that. Collapse shading. Okay, now we're going to work with the transparencies themselves. So we're going to go and turn it on, and we're going to do ray tracing transparencies as opposed to Z transparencies. There's a couple different ways you can work with this. You can turn the alpha down. You'll notice what that did there. Or you can turn the Fresnel up. Personally, I wanted to work with the Fresnel on this one. I usually have never touched with it. I've never touched it, but this time I took a look at it and noticed that it actually does have some nice stuff here. I'm also going to turn the blend all the way up to 5. And what that's going to do, go ahead and render it, is now turn the diamond into something like this. You really can't see the definition of it too much, but as we continue to work with these, it's going to show up real nice. Just turning the blend all the way, say like to maybe a 1.2. You'll notice that there's too much light on the outsides and not enough on the insides. It's because the blend is way too low. We need to turn it all the way up and get the inside and the outside matching. All right. Next thing we need to do, we need to turn the specular intensity down to 0.6. And now we're going to turn the IOR up to 2. For the, let's see. Yeah, I usually never turn the IOR that much up. Usually if you're working with like a glass cup or something, you want the IOR at perhaps maybe a 1.2, maybe a 1.25. Usually you never go up farther than that, but in this one I actually found out that turning the IOR up helped it look a little bit better, and that's why I turned it up. And so now with IOR selected, render the image, the diamond is now starting to come through, but it's still not enough. There's a couple of things you could do. Is you could just totally increase the intensity of the lights and see what that does if you want. That's just something messing with the settings. Perhaps you may want to, perhaps not. So anyway, the last thing we needed to do was back up here in the shading, tangent shading. Watch what this does. And now watch what happens when it's rendered. Boom. Now that is nice. We got some nice light going through here. Light is hitting all the different surfaces going through, because now you can actually see some straight black surface being reflected through all the different faces and finally back out to your eye. And there's just one more thing I want to do just to give this a little bit more realistic feel. Go back into front view and rotate that. Just as if the diamond were laying on its side. The top view. Let's see what it looks like when it's rendered. Not bad. I want to rotate it a little bit counterclockwise. Not a whole lot, just enough to see the tail of it. I still want to see the top. Whoa, did I turn it the wrong way? I don't know. What's going on? Oh. Okay. No, I wasn't doing it. Oh, it's just coming at a different angle, and I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. We'll just rotate a little bit more. There we go. Now you can actually see the bottom of the diamond a little bit. So there's the top, there's the bottom. This is the mid ring right here. So you can take a picture of it with rendering the image whichever way you want the diamond to be sitting. If you wanted to take a look at it from very top, you would just turn this towards you, look at it a little bit from more of the side, just rotate this more, re-render it, and there's the rest of it from the side. You can still see the top and then see that. One thing we want to do is if the diamond is literally the only thing in the picture, you might want to increase the size. Because if the diamond is the only thing in the picture, you really don't want something to take a... Wow, that's going to be huge. Oh, not too bad. Just need to reposition it. Hold on, sorry guys. I wasn't planning for this part. Okay, if the diamond's the only thing there, usually the diamond takes up the entire frame. But the thing is if the diamond is going to be the only thing in the entire frame, you really want to go to town with the modeling. And I mean, you really want to go to town, because the size of this diamond compared to it being a little bit smaller, that just doesn't look right. This is kind of modeling a diamond for use in, like, if you're going to be modeling a ring or something. If you re-render it just down like this, now it looks a little bit more natural. Like I said, if you're going to be modeling it and having it a huge picture of a diamond, you really want to go to town, take a look at these pictures all the time, make sure you're getting it to look almost perfect. You may even want to look more circular around that mid ridge, as opposed to kind of blocking and cut the way I have it right now. So if you, like I said, if you do want it to take up the whole picture, go to town on the modeling. Make sure you go to town on the modeling, and then mess with the settings and see if anything else comes out that looks better. But as for right here, I do believe that that's going to look pretty good. Perhaps even a little bit better than what I had. Okay, a lot better than what I had. Okay, anyway, that's my tutorial. This is my very first tutorial, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave me comments below. Please don't go to town too much on the you're a huge noob at these, because I already know that. But yeah, feel free to go ahead and leave your comments, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.